Earlier this week, we did get a whole bunch of teasers regarding new chickens coming inside the game, and inside today's snapshot and preview, we're getting chickens as well as a few other different types of things we weren't actually expecting. But yeah, inside this one snapshot, we're still getting our normal, regular, average, everyday chicken we know and love for many, many years at this point. But on top of that, we're getting two different types of chickens, similar to how we saw with the new types of cows and new types of pigs, such as, say, the warm chicken, which... man, if I have ever seen a cooked chicken ever in my life, then this is definitely one. If I've ever seen one on legs, then this is definitely going to be one of them. And maybe this isn't the best design. Maybe they could lean into more of like, I guess, chicken variant type things if they don't want to add like, full on different types of mobs. Maybe like leading into, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But if we quickly find a colder biome, then what we should eventually see is another new type of chicken inside the cold variant. And okay, this one is very, very obviously a... Are you a chicken? Are you sure you're a chicken? Like, personally, I did grow up with a lot of family that did work with a lot of like farm animals, and maybe I've seen a chicken like that, maybe I have. But regardless of whatever you think of these new types of chickens, something that you can't deny is the fact that they do actually have some pretty unique drops, as we can see, because now these chickens, depending on the type of biome, will actually give you different types of eggs. I'm not even kidding. You're going to get brand new types of eggs just depending on which type of chicken you actually find. Say with the warm chicken, you could find, I actually don't know exactly what type of eggs you're going to find, but inside new types of biomes with new types of chickens, you could either find brown eggs or you could find blue eggs. I'm pretty sure we have a pretty good idea as to which type of egg we could find in either type of biome. Brown eggs for warm chickens, blue eggs for cold chickens. I think. I'm pretty sure. I've not looked into it too much, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be. And in case you're wondering, we are going to get the type of chicken from the egg. So in the case you want to get yourself, say, like a warm chicken inside like a neutral biome or a cold chicken inside a different type of biome, then you can totally do that now with these new types of eggs, which honestly, all these new types of mob variants have been fantastic, but it's kind of hard to see like how you're going to be able to get all of them in one place. Well, at the very least with the chickens, this is going to be such an easier way in actually getting yourselves all these new types of variants if you really, really want to. But yeah, something else you might notice is the fact that back over in the Badlands, there's quite a number of different things. You might not even need me to tell you what's different, but inside the Badlands, there is a whole bunch of new types of foliage, such as with this new type of tall, dry grass, scattered the entirety of the Badlands all over the place. So it's not really going to add anything to anything or anything like that, but it's just another form of, I guess, a decoration, similar to, say, like the leaf litters or anything like that. In some ways, it does kind of feel like the Badlands is just a little bit more alive and a little bit more distinct, even though, like, again, there's not much different. All there is one new type of plant, and that's about it. Can you bone meal this if you want to get more? You can, and you get multiple types of different types of dry grass, some of which smaller than others, other of which bigger than others, and from the looks of things, I don't know if it'll actually grow up on its own, but it probably will, or in the case it doesn't, then you can always just bone meal it up like you do with any other different type of like grass or anything like that. But that's not the only thing that's changed inside these warmer biomes, because if we find ourselves, say, like a desert biome or something like that, then what we're going to notice is on top of the cactus, there's also a brand new type of foliage too, which is this thing called a cactus flower. I'm not exactly sure how you're going to be able to get this. Maybe you can bone meal the top of it, or maybe it'll just have to grow on its own. Or however you get it, you're going to be able to find brand new types of flowers spawning right on top of cactus. Potentially growing right on top of cactus too. Actually, if we bump up the tick somehow in Java, I don't know exactly how to do it. 20 ticks per second, is that better? Or maybe that's the default. So let's try 200. Let's try 200. That is not what I meant to do. Okay, I think I figured out what I have to do. Let's do 200, and let's see. Because if they only naturally generate, then it's going to be really, really hard to find a whole bunch of these. But yeah, from the looks of things, they'll just naturally and randomly grow right on top of all these cactus. Maybe not every single cactus, but in the case you want to get yourself some of these new types of cactus flowers, then you could totally do that. All you just need is a bunch of cactus or a bunch of patience. You can place them down like on their own in the case you want to use them that way or something like that. But from the looks of things, they can't go inside of any pots or anything like that. But also, inside the desert, I didn't even notice this, is some tall dry grass too. So maybe it's not like distinguishing all types of dry biomes, but it is making both the dry biomes feel just that little bit more distinct from like the neutral or colder type biomes or anything like that. And with all this new stuff today, I've had two main thoughts. First off, doesn't it feel like they're adding like all these biome losing votes or mob losing votes, like in some way? Maybe not fully, because we don't have like the vulture or like the desert mob, whatever it was. I can't necessarily remember it, but doesn't it feel like in some way they are kind of in some minor way trying to fulfill their promises with all this stuff? Say with like the new types of cactus, even though we are getting like fully new types of cactus, we are getting like new types of things you could find on cactus, say new types of foliage in the mesa. We saw new foliage in the mesa and won the mob votes, but not necessarily like this. Like, it feels like they're trying to fulfill their promises, but they're not fully going all the way. And we're kind of seeing that a lot with this entire update. Say with like the firefly, say with like all these new types of mob variants. Like, it feels like we're going halfway, but not all the way that what we need to actually fulfill these, fulfill what we promised all that time ago. Also, I didn't even realize this, but you could actually bunch up tiny little dead bushes to actually make them big bushes. And something else I didn't realize until now is this is probably a prime opportunity still, in the case we're gonna wait until like, I don't know, the end of March or April or something for this update to release, to add in maybe one or two like unique mob variants or something like that. Like, think about it. How many different types of mob variants we have inside of many different types of like Minecraft spin-off games or something like that. Dungeons has several different types of like chicken variants and I don't know, sheep and cow variants and several other different types of things like that. And why don't we like fully lean into it somewhat with all these new types of mobs we're getting inside the game? Now, I guess we're kind of getting that somewhat with these new eggs from the chicken variants a little bit, but I'd love to see us lean into this way more. I don't know how much more, but I feel like there is way more room we could actually go with this, alongside maybe other different types of mob variants. Maybe the sheep. I know there's like the colored sheep we have across the world, but what if we had biome sheep variants across the world? I don't know. Maybe that will work. Maybe that's just a little bit too much code to worry about. But I feel like if we are going to try and adding like every single type of variants for the original mobs we've seen at the very beginning of Minecraft, then I think sheep is pretty much going to be the last type of mob variant we're going to need. Again, there's already 16 different types of sheep, but in the case we want to, like, you know, fulfill every single type of OG mob and giving them a variant, then sheep is pretty much going to be the last one we're going to see on the list, in the case they are going to add any more at all. I don't know if they will. I don't know if, like, this is going to be it for the update. I have no idea, but we shall have to wait and see until next week. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching. And if nothing else, just let us cook these eggs. Just please, Mojang, just let us cook these eggs.